Welcome to Spokane Talks. I'm Ryan McNeice. Oh! Today, she says,
set one goal that scares the bleep out of you.
use Spotlight
with community service. Been doing it my whole life, but since my freshman year of high school, I have made a goal for myself to do 1,000 hours of community service.
followed by Business Talks.
I think if you try to avoid failure, you're not going to accomplish anything.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
Hello, welcome to SheSays. It's good to see you after a break. Hopefully it's good for you to see us after a break. I'm Stephanie Regalado, your host. I have Rene Johnston Gingrich with me today. Rene is the owner and founder of Employee Engagement Solutions. You can find more information at employeeengagementsolutions.com. And you have been running some workshops on goal setting. And even though we're into the year a little bit, there's always opportunity to be setting goals and revising goals. But one thing that I love so much is this 5-category goal system that you have. Can you run us through
You bet.
some
You
categories
bet.
of how to wrap and hang our goal fruit on these branches?
Absolutely. There are a million different categories of goals out there, but
Yes.
I wanted to just kind of introduce 5 that I thought were really thought-provoking and could be really powerful. So
Yeah.
those 5 different categories, and what I hope is that everyone would choose an individualized version that fits that category. But the first goal category is set one goal that scares the bleep out of you.
And that bleep can be anything. It doesn't even have to be a curse word.
Yes, no. It could be, yeah, absolutely.
It just scares you in a mighty way
Yes.
or in a propelling way.
Pushes you out of your comfort zone.
Yes. So that sounds like a bold goal.
It is.
One big bold goal. Okay. And number 2.
The second goal is our more practical goal, and that is set one goal that's going to improve your circumstances, something that is going to improve your day-to-day. Paying off some debt or, handling a mess, an actual mess that you need to get tidied up that is going to make you feel better.
Did you see my dishes in my sink?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I do
Of
have
course
a window.
not.
I don't close the blinds ever. So. Okay. Number 3.
Our third goal category, and it's probably my personal favorite, is set one goal that involves letting go of something.
Oh, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Letting go.
Yes, letting go. Maybe it's resentments, maybe it's expectations, maybe it's an idea of something you thought you had to do, and maybe you just don't.
Maybe it's past relationships that never really worked out, but sometimes you feel a tether to them, but maybe you just need to sever that.
Yes.
A friend told me that.
Yes, I've heard that maybe a time or two
It has
myself.
nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but letting go, it really, that just cleans up our house, internal house, so we have a platform to truly build from there. And that one has been so valuable for me to think of all the different ways and really truly dive in and dissect what I can let go of.
Yes, yeah, and it may involve, like you said, an attachment or something to another individual. It may involve something internal that you need to let go
That's
of.
often the case.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break and hear a message from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back with 2 more goals.
The following is sponsored by our friends and community supporters at McNeice Wheeler Attorneys. McNeice Wheeler is a boutique law firm in Spokane, handling matters in both Washington and Idaho. Areas of law include business law, wills, trusts and estates, family law, personal injury and wrongful death, and real estate matters. For your full-service legal needs, contact McNeice Wheeler Attorneys.
Thank you. We're back with She Says. I'm Stephanie Regalado with Rene Johnston Gingrich. We're talking about goal setting, and we're on category 4.
Category number 4. This goal category asks you to set one goal that is just for you. Just for you.
Like, how does that look?
Right, exactly. It makes a lot of people very uncomfortable because it seems selfish or greedy. But the truth is, there's very little we do that doesn't help others. But really just think about maybe just one goal.
It was funny when I was considering it, I was dissecting each of those goals and realized it was tied to some other aspect. It wasn't ever just for me. So it really is a great practice to scrub a lot of stuff from my mind. Work is a huge one because it just takes up so much of our space, our professional career.
It's not one
goals.
that comes easily.
No, yeah. But a joke that some of us are, like the default should be girl trip. Just women, if you're having trouble setting a goal that's just for you, plan a trip with your girlfriends and just call it good.
Yes. Always a good idea.
Yes. Okay, goal number 5.
Okay, our 5th and final goal is to set one goal that speaks to your heart. We all have something that tugs at our heartstrings or that calls to us, and we maybe just haven't been able to devote the time, the energy, whatever it might be, and maybe now's the time to take some steps toward that.
Yeah. And there's altruistic values that are so incredible for us, as well as just your own interpersonal. I would think it would be different from one goal from yourself, but really just digging into maybe doing something creative for yourself or whatever makes you feel tender and soft and touches your heart.
Exactly.
4 processes. That was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our 4 processes.
We're running out of time already.
So, All right, we're going to explore. In order to make these goals happen, first we have to explore our why, make sure it's in alignment with our intention. Secondly, we have to apply resources and action items. What do we have to actually do to make that goal happen?
Yes.
Third, hold ourselves accountable with some forgiveness and grace.
Yes.
Attach those deadlines, but give yourself some flexibility. And then celebrate your success. Not just the big end success, but the little milestones along the way.
Excellent. Well, if I had a glass, I'd toast to you now. Thank you so much, Renee.
My pleasure.
And thank you for tuning in today.
Next up on Youth Spotlight, Maggie Bailey, Freeman High School.
This is River Ridge Frame Shop, called Frame It Today, where we can take your art, customize it, and get it ready to hang on the wall. Here at River Ridge Hardware, 2803 West Garland.
Hello, Spokane Talks. Welcome to Youth Spotlight. I'm your host, Brady Magruder, and today we have the woman, the myth, the legend, Maggie Bailey. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's incredible to have you on the show. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
So I've been doing community service since I was 3 years old, and I have been doing it through Campfire, and this is my Wohelo gown.
Wow.
And that has all of the emblems on there are different achievements and projects that I have done through Campfire. And with community service, been doing it my whole life, but since my freshman year of high school, I have made a goal for myself to do 1,000 hours of community service in high school. And of April of junior year, so last April, I have 850 hours of community service.
That is incredible.
Thank you.
Wow. I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, I've participated in community service, and like the main thing I do is upward flag football, and that is only about like 60 to 80 hours per year in the fall, and I already feel like that's like, oh my gosh, taking so much time away. But 850 in the past 3 years?
Yes.
Holy smokes. I can't even imagine.
Thank you. Yeah, it keeps me very busy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So what are some of the things you have here? Because you have a lot of achievements through being involved in that community service.
So we'll start with my flag here, and this is from my Wohelo ceremony, which is the highest award in Campfire, and this was actually flown over the United States Capitol, and it was one of my most cherished possessions.
Wow.
And then down here we have Chase Youth Awards, and I have won 8 total Chase Youth Awards, and 2 of them were personally to me, and 6 of them were for groups that I have been involved in.
Wow.
And then down at the bottom down here, these are community service letters through my high school. And this is on my letterman's jacket. My community service letter is right up here. And through Freeman, you can do it through United Way. And if you have 250 or more hours of community service, you can get the gold presidential community service letter.
Wow.
And then these are my personal Chase Youth Award medals, my medal for doing the 3 years of lettering and community service, and then these are academic medals.
Wow, holy smokes. That's a lot of ice there.
Thank you.
No, that's incredible. Congratulations for all of this.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so you've been able to get all of this through your active involvement.
Yes.
And the Chase Youth Award, what exactly is it?
So the Chase Youth Commission was made by Jim Chase, who was a mayor of Spokane, and he just loved the youth and wanted to showcase the youth of our community. And so he created the award system where you can nominate people under certain categories in something that they have done and overachieved in, basically. And so being nominated and winning is a huge thing. There's different judges. And
that's cool.
Yes, and I actually serve on the Chase Youth Awards, like the committee, so the commission, and there's a bunch of youth in Spokane from different high schools, and we all get together and plan the awards, and it's a great time.
That's awesome. All right, so we're going to take a little break, and when we get back, we will talk more about your involvement with community service and why you do it.
Awesome.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
Welcome back to Youth Spotlight. I am here with Maggie Bailey. Welcome. And so I wanted to talk to you about what it is about community service, because you have done 850 hours. Your goal is 1,000 by the time you graduate. Why are you so attracted to community service, and what is it about you that about it that makes it so important?
So I'm so attracted to community service because being able to help someone or other than yourself, because people, have a bad start or whatever it is that makes them down in this low place in their life, being able to be that extra helping hand to bump them up and to really, connect and experience this person's life and what they all have shared, because everyone has something to share to the world, and being able to help other people really fulfills me and makes me happy. And in doing my community service, and why I kept doing it is because I kept setting goals and competing against myself for it.
Right.
And in doing that, I have gotten to wanting to do my $1,000 or 1,000-hour award, which has really just impacted me and made me want to be better and help the community at the same time. And I think that it's so important because being able to help other people that are as fortunate as you are is a power that no one else can give other than yourself. And so I think that that's really important, to be able to get out there and get off whatever you're doing and go and help someone else other than yourself.
Yeah, get off the couch, get off your phone.
Yes.
Yeah, that's incredible. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, and thank you for being here and sharing your story. And so make sure that for the people at home, you guys can get off your couch this evening, or not this evening, but this weekend, and to help somebody in need, help these communities. They are working for you. A quick shout out to our sponsors, Greater American Construction and Fox 28 and Spokesman Review. You guys make this possible. Thank you so much. Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you.
And have a great day. Catch you on the flippity flop.
Next up on Business Talks, Tyler Dickerhoof, turning challenges into opportunities.
This is River Ridge Frame Shop, called Frame It Today, where we can take your art, customize it, and get it ready to hang on the wall. here at River Ridge Hardware, 2803 West Garland.
Welcome to Business Talks. I'm Ryan McNeice, and we're here in the studio with Tyler Dickerhoof of Tyler and Kelly Dickerhoof and Brixton Enterprises as well. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Tyler, whether we're on camera, off camera, talking in a coffee shop or otherwise, I always enjoy talking with you because of so much energy. And, I love business. That's why I get an opportunity to do this show. You love business. And there's people in business that do not. They're just putting one foot in front of the other, but you're passionate about it. Give us some insight, whether it be some of the challenges, negatively or even positively, how you've done things differently, how you've either energized yourself, your businesses, the people you're working with within your network. Give us a little insight on how you put those fundamentals into action.
So, our main business today is network marketing, and my wife and I stumbled across that. We both had businesses where, it was by referrals that we got customers. And so our virtue in that was to apply the same how we grew those businesses into our network marketing business, which was serve people, help them get result that they want, and not force people down their throat. I use the example of, business like you guys. So I'm a client of McNeice Wheeler. Glad to be. And one of the things that you guys first exemplified to me when I was looking at needing some legal help is that it wasn't the nickel and dime. It wasn't the I'm going to bill you incessantly and you're going to pay. Well, I know if I'm getting help from a lawyer, I'm going to pay for it, but I'm looking for that. I don't need to feel taken advantage of. And I look at network marketing as an industry, and I really feel that's what happens a lot of times. People feel like, oh, I need to pursue all my friends and family and force this on them. I need to go, call every one of my contacts and make them buy this product. I look at that from a point of view is we have a solution. I believe everyone can use it, but not everyone's there.
What's the problem? Can I solve it? Is there value added?
Yep. And so that's where I'd much rather provide value to people, build that relationship, make sure there's trust before you ever look to influence them. And I'd much rather them be 100% confident, comfortable the decision they made rather than, oh, I feel like I got taken advantage of. That does not bring referrals. Just like if you were, someone calls in one day, they want a little advice, you guys send them a $300 to $500 bill, they're probably never going to refer you.
Right.
That doesn't grow your business.
Right.
So those are the principles that we use to grow our network marketing business, help other people grow theirs that I think apply to any business.
Well, and I think we can read this, we can hear this, and there's some fundamental aspects of this. But you put it into practice, and whether we're talking about plumbing, electrical, no matter what business, interestingly, people actually don't do this, and yet it seems so obvious. Give value first. Let's take a short little break and come right back and talk about business and entrepreneurial spirit that you have. Welcome back to the studio, Business Talks, Tyler Dickerhoof. Thank you. We're talking about the fundamentals of business. And one thing that an entrepreneur can never avoid, although we all try, is try not to fail. But I think you're somebody that has taken that failure and turned it into positive. Tell us how you do that, because it's not easy.
You got to evaluate. You got to look at it and say there's a reason why, and it's an experience to learn. I think if you try to avoid failure, you're not going to accomplish anything. And so
you won't start.
No, and we really look at that as an opportunity to pivot. And sometimes we have to learn and go slower into enterprises. But yet once you're in there, you got to swing and you got to fight your way through. And just because you hit a roadblock doesn't mean it's the end. There's times to grip and really hold the wheel. There's times to just kind of let it slide through your hands and go. And that takes experience. And you're going to fail. You're going to skin your knees. Banks every day let people out of bankruptcy. It's not the end of the world. It's not something I think you should ever go into business trying to do.
Right.
But at the same point, it's life, and realize that there's no nails on the coffin until you're dead. And so just keep going and pivot forward. And learn.
Well, and I think as you're describing, you might have an original idea and the exact four corners of that idea might not necessarily come to fruition, but some aspect of it might allow you to brainstorm and as you said, pivot in a different direction.
The best businesses came about inadvertently. And I think once you understand and just embrace that, the better off you are. That, you can have this idea, but that doesn't mean what people want. It goes back to, things we've said before, is your job is to serve people. Offer them a solution that they want, not tell them what they need and shove it down their throat.
Well, and Tyler, it's why I appreciate talking to you here and in other environments, that you are unique, and that I think you've turned the service component. Again, anybody can say it, but I think you're living it, that if whatever endeavor you've been involved in, you are attempting to serve somebody else, it comes back, but people seem to reverse that.
You got to get out of the instant gratification, and the instant gratification really just needs to be that, hey, I did my best. I'm going to do better tomorrow than I did today, as long as I did better today than I did yesterday. You have that adage, you have that mindset, keep going. You're all golden.
Tyler, thank you.
Appreciate it, Ryan.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Cindy Hval is a freelance columnist and correspondent for the Spokesman Review and author of War Bonds, Love Stories from the Greatest Generation. The view from her porch is usually sunny.
When my husband called to tell me he just ordered a Roku box, I thought he was bringing Japanese takeout home for dinner. Wrong. Instead, he brought home a little black box that streams movies, television shows, and music directly to our home via the internet. Suddenly, we have Netflix, HBO, and more channels than I can count. In other words, no one complains that there's nothing to watch on TV anymore. In the 2 weeks since the Roku was installed, our teenager watched 10 Friday the 13th movies. 10! And my husband? Well, he watched something called The Galaxy Invader, a movie in which an alien is hunted by a gang of drunken hillbillies who saw him crash land his spaceship. Derek has also discovered a cross-country ski channel. Watching Nordic ski races is a lot like watching marathons, only snowier. I'm glad my guys are happy, but I've never been much of a television viewer. I'd much rather curl up with a good book. Most technological improvements spawn more, and the Roku was no exception. With all the new channels and choices, Derek got frustrated with the handful of remotes needed to operate the television. So he came home with a universal remote. Not just any universal remote, a Logitech Harmony 700. See, he said, now instead of losing 4 remotes, I'll only lose 1. My son woke me up early the next morning to announce our new remote has 54 buttons. It's a good thing I don't like to watch television, because with 54 buttons to press, the odds that I would actually discover the on button are remote. And that's the view from my front porch.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Spokane Talks. Join us next week for more news, views, and conversation. Go Zags!
The following is sponsored by our friends and community supporters at McNeice Wheeler Attorneys. McNeice Wheeler is a boutique law firm in Spokane, handling matters in both Washington and Idaho. Areas of law include business law, wills, trusts and estates, family law, personal injury and wrongful death, and real estate matters. For your full-service legal needs, contact McNeice Wheeler Attorneys. The economy is getting stronger. Banks are lending again, and interest rates are at historic lows. Now is a great time to buy your dream home. The caring and knowledgeable professionals at Homes for You have been helping people just like you for over 20 years. They take the time to listen to what you want and will help you find just the right home in Washington or Idaho. Real estate is what we do at Homes for You, 928-5782, or visit online at homes4uspokane.com. Spokane Talks is about you. Give us your feedback and comments at info@SpokaneTalksMedia.com. Spokane Talks is brought to you in part by McNeice Wheeler Attorneys, River Ridge Hardware, and Rada Paint. We'll be back next week with additional news, views, and conversations. Please join us. So long for now.